All right. Yeah, welcome back to my class again today. Now we are still on object-oriented programming. In the last class, we did polymorphism, and I told you that the next class I'm going to look at some mechanisms that are used to implement these principles. So today I'm going to look at method overriding and method overloading. Actually, if you have not watched that polymorphism class, you need to watch it because that is actually the implementation of what? Method overriding. So in today's class, I'm just going to demonstrate some things for you to see. Now, what is method overriding and what is method overloading? Now, when you have same method but with different implementation logic, that for probably in a child class, that method in the child class, when called, can actually override that of the parent class. Now, method overloading is where you are having the same method with the same name, but with different parameters supplied to it. Now, Python doesn't really implement method overloading, but there is a workaround, and that is what I want to show you in this class. So, we are going to look at method overloading. Right? Now, if you have not watched polymorphism, go and watch it. In that polymorphism, you will actually see method overriding. So if you have not watched it, use this I, click on it, and then watch polymorphism. And then you will be able to understand method overriding. So in today's class is method overloading. Now, so we create a class. So let's create a class um, Eden, right? And then we create a method, define a method, def it, and then here we supply self, and then creature one. Then we'll go in and we'll say return Adam cultivate the garden, right? And then here again we define this same method, it, and then we supply self to it, and then we say creature one, comma, creature two, and then we come in and we say return if it the fruit and shares with Adam, right? So this is the class that we have created, class Eden. Then we have same method, it and it. But this method is expecting just one parameter here, while here is expecting two parameters, creature one, creature two. And then you go in and return if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. Now let's instantiate this class. So we come here and we say garden, right? We want to instantiate this class. So assign, so Eden, since you don't have an init method, so you are just going to call the default constructor. So you call this, nothing will be supplied inside it. Then we've created an object for this class, which is what? Garden. Now we are going to use this garden to call this method, right? And then we are going to supply parameters to it. So in this place now, um, we can now say print, right? And then we say garden dot, we are calling this method it, and then in this one, we will supply, if we do it the other way around, it will throw us an error before. So we'll say it, and then we will give Adam, and then we will give if. Let's do this one first, and then we close. And then here again, we will say print garden dot it, and then we'll supply Adam to it. Now, this is it. So we have created our class with two methods inside. No, one method, but this method is defined twice inside the class, but expecting for the first one just one parameter, which is what creature. The second one expecting two parameters, which is what creature. This self will be used for the object. All right. Now, we now instantiated the class garden, and then we are using this object now to access the method. So this first one, right? What will it do? This one will print this. Will print this out. But this one will give you error. This one will give you error, telling you that this method is expecting two parameters, but you are giving only one. That is the error it's going to give to you. Why? Because Python does not directly implement method overloading, where you are having the same method name, but different parameters supplied to it. So what Python does is, because you have created this one, and then you have supplied this to it, then you are creating the same method again with the same name. Yeah. So this one is going to override this one. So as far as Python is concerned, you are having just one method, which is this one, expecting two parameters. So in calling that method and supplying two parameters to it, it will give this Adam to the first creature, and it will give Eve to what? To the second creature. Then it will go in and it will print if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. Then you are calling the method again here, and you are supplying only one parameter to it. This one is going to throw you type error, telling you that the method is expecting two parameters, but you are having only one parameter supplied to it. So it will throw you an error. So you can see that with this, Python does not implement method overloading. So how do you implement method overloading? How do you now solve this problem? That is what I want to show you in this class. All right. So what I am going to do now to solve this problem is that I will just clean here, and then I will come here and I will do this. And I will come here. Then I will create creature 2, right? And I will assign none to it. So this is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to introduce if statement. So inside this, my method, I'm now going to say if creature 2 equals to none, right? Which is this. Return Adam cultivate the garden, right? else return if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. Right? This is what you are going to do. So this is how I am now going to implement method overloading in Python. So I'm going to create the first argument as creature 1, and then the second argument, which is what? Creature 2, and I'm going to assign a value to that variable, right? Which is what? None. Then I'm coming in to use the if statement. If creature 2 equals to none, return Adam cultivates the garden. Else, return if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. So now I've created my class. Now let's instantiate this class, just like we did before. So I'll say garden, and then I'll say Eden. I'm calling the default constructor. Then I will now come here and say print. I'll use the object to access the method dot eat, right? Now in this one, I am going to supply Adam, right, to eat. While in this one, print garden dot eat. Then I'll supply Adam, and I'll supply if, right, to it. Now, when I execute this program, this one, right, will print this garden will be given to self, right? And then this Adam will be given to creature 1, right, to creature 1. Creature 2 is already none, right? So it means that there is no second creature for this one. So creature 2 is none. Then it will go in. If creature 2 equals to none, which is actually none, go in and print Adam cultivate the garden. So this one will give me this, right? While this one, because I have Adam here supply, so Adam is given to creature 1, then if is given to creature 2. That one will override this one. So this if will be assigned to creature 2. Then it will come in. If creature 2 equals to none, now creature 2 is not none. So it will not enter into this if. It will come to the F and it will return if eat the fruit and shares with. So this one will return this. Now this is how you implement method overloading in Python by walking around, right? So I now have this method going to give me two things, either this or this. So let's go to PyCharm and allow me demonstrate this for you to see. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page, right? So let's go to the PyCharm. Okay, so these are PyCharm. Now we are going to create method overloading. So let's come here, just right click and click on new, click on file, then I'll call it, let's call it overloading, right? Overloading.py. So this is actually a module that we are creating. Okay, so we are going to test the first one where we'll create the method twice. So we could say class Eden, right? And then we'll come in and we'll say define it, and here then we'll create the second creature, creature 1, and then we'll come here and we'll say return Adam cultivates the garden, right? And then we'll define it again. This time around, we'll supply two parameters, creature 1 and then creature 2. Creature 2. Now we'll go in and we'll say return if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. Okay, we've created our class with with same method name but different parameters in it. So now we are going to instantiate the class. So we say garden, and then we are calling the class Eden. Since there is no init method, we are now going to call the default constructor. So nothing will be inside. Now we have done that. Now we are going to print, and then we'll use that garden to call the method .eat. Now in the first one, we'll supply two parameters to it. So I have to print it out first before it to throw you error. So we'll supply Adam, right? And then we'll supply another parameter. I'll call it if. Then we'll repeat the same thing. But this time around, we'll supply only one parameter. All right. Now, if I execute this script, so we've created our class, which is class Eden, and then we've created one method, two methods with the same name, but different parameters. Now, when we try to execute it, this one will execute and give us if eat the fruit and shares with Adam. Why? Because this method will override the first one. So it's expecting two parameters. Now you're going to supply two parameters. And when you call it again with one parameter, it will throw you an error. This one will throw you an error. So here, you see, it's actually, let's say we run it again. Now, if eats the fruit and shares with Adam, so meaning is doing this second one, which is what? This first one. But when you call it again the second time, now it's throwing you the error. And what is the error? Type error. Missing one required positional argument, creature 2, right? So it's not seeing this argument because in this one, you are supplying just one. So it's not seeing it. That's why it's giving you this error. But in the first one, it saw it, so it gave you. Now, you can see that Python does not implement overload, method overload directly. So to solve this problem, we have to do a workaround. Now, in our class, what we did was we removed this one, and then we came here, and then we created creature 2, and we assigned none to it, right? And then inside this, we come here and introduce the if statement. If creature 2, this is equals to none, go in and return Adam cultivates the garden. Else, return if eats the fruit and shares with Adam. Okay, so this is what we've done. If creature 2 equals to none, enter it and print out Adam cultivates the garden. So it will return it to the calling function. and then it will print it out on the screen. But if it is not none, go in and print Adam cultivate the garden. So now I'm going to execute this. So we've instantiated our class by creating the garden and then print garden.it. So in this one now we are supplying two parameters, which are the two arguments. So Adam will be given to, so even if I bring this one, even if I put this one up here first. So in this first one, now Adam is given to creature 1. So creature 2 is none. Then it will go in. If creature 2 is none, it will go in and print Adam cultivate the garden. So this first one will print Adam cultivate the garden. Then the second one, Adam is assigned to creature 1. If is assigned to creature 2, so it will go in. Is creature 2 none? No. So it will not enter into this if statement. It will come to the else statement and then it will return if eats the fruit and shares with Adam. So let's execute this. So you see, Adam cultivates the garden, which is the first one. Now, the second one, calling it the second time, if eats the fruit and shares with Adam. That is how you uh, um, implement method overloading in Python, right? So that is what I want to share with you in this class. So in the next class, we'll be looking at dynamic binding and doc typing. So till we see in the next class, bye-bye.